Hey everyone, it's Marabelle Blue. Welcome to my Coaching Life Realities channel. I wanted to do an experiment using AI and the difference between a human answering relationship questions as opposed to AI. Now, AI has really upgraded to tell you they can't really convey emotional aspects. However, they lay things out in a different way, kind of giving a general perspective on emotional answers without including the emotions because it's artificial intelligence. I've had people talk to me about AI. I've had people say, oh, I hate it. To each his own. You can hate it, you can love it. The fact is, it's here. People are using it. Now, where I had issues with the AI was people who are not writers. I consider myself a naturally gifted writer. I've been writing since childhood. I've been writing poems, I've been writing stories, and I went back to college in 2008 because I really wanted to hone in and perfect my writing so that I'm able to write books and not be long-winded, because I found I can be really long-winded when I'm writing and take forever to get the point and lose a person who is interested in reading a topic, but they don't want to go through the whole drama. They just want the story and get to the point, which is the way that I have really perfected my writing in doing that, in shortening points down. Because you can still write a great story. You just don't have to take forever to get to the point of the story, especially since you don't want to lose readers. People they have short attention spans. So it's important when you're conveying something, you try and not like me, try and not take as much time. But if you are going to be engaging and to keep people interested in that way, and that will shine through everybody's personality because everyone is different. So in that regard, I did have issues with it because I'm saying, well, now people are just going to start spewing out stories without having real writing skills and to be able to recognize either mistakes or grammatical errors. There's just a lot of things that go into writing. And with that, I was like, yeah, I'm not really with the whole AI and people thinking they could just spew out stories through AI. You still have to read, you still have to proofread, and everything still has to make sense. So does it worry me anymore? Not really. If I get a little writer's block, if I'm writing something and I get stuck on it, I'll use the AI just to kind of get a little bit of clarity. And then I'm able to write whatever it is that I need to write. So for me, it helps me with my writer's block and just opens up that door to be able to write with clarity. And the words flow smoother. And I'm very happy about that. So like I said, love it or hate it, it's on you. And there's nothing that we could do about it because it's part of our technology and you could choose not to use it. It's like I said, it's up to you, but you can hate it. It's on you. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. I talk everything about relationships. I just did a video on Jodi Hildebrandt, me suspecting that she is some kind of sociopath. And I've been getting like a lot of comments and feedback. I didn't know that she had children, and apparently she lost custody to them during her divorce, which is not a surprise to me. I'm not surprised about that at all. Considering where she is right now, it's probably a blessing in disguise. She lost custody of those children because they would be traumatized in ways that now these other children have to be reconditioned and believe that they are really good people and they're not who Jodi Hildebrandt thinks or whatever she was planting in their little heads. You just don't pull shit like that. So I'm happy that people are actually viewing this video. Thank you so much. Love you guys for all of your support. Do subscribe so that you can get more content from this channel. Is there something you'd like me to talk about? Please send me an email. All of the information will be down below. And if you are not new, welcome back. Let's get started with this AI. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Now, the one one thing I do want to do, I've been looking at these different sites that have like these questions. There was one question that I answered and I put it all in the shorts. Some of the answers, it's just crazy. Like saying, people, are you reading the question? Like, do you realize that these are people making inquiries about real situations and you're telling them things that you probably wouldn't even do yourself? So we're going to use those as a base. First, I might answer, and then we're going to use AI and see what the AI will answer. We'll do that. Okay, so I have the Quora screen pulled up. I am actually in the modern dating website. And now I'm going to share my AI screen. That way you can see what is going on there. Okay, this is the full layout. And the print looks so small. I'm kind of hoping that you guys will be able to see this. We're going to answer this question. First, I'm going to answer it, and then we're going to see what AI says about this question. I've been seeing her for 9 months and she does not want to commit. She says she's in love with me, but confused about her feelings for me and her feelings for her ex fiance. She says she loves us both and doesn't know what to do. Should I wait around and move on? There's an answer here. We're not going to go ahead and read that answer because at this point, it's irrelevant, like for now, but we can always compare it to the AI and to me to how I would answer this question. Now, if I had a client who came to me and said, I'm confused, we've been together for 9 months, she doesn't want to commit, she's confused about her feelings, she's confusing me about my feelings. I know how I feel about her, but when she says she still has feelings for her ex fiance, but she has feelings for me too, I don't know where to take this. There are many different options for this person, in my own personal opinion. I would not be able to give them an answer as a life coach. As a life coach, I would give them different options on how to explore to get to their answer. That is a very big difference. For anybody who thinks that a life coach is there to give you an answer, no. We are here to give you the tools so that you can find your answers. You need those tools in order for you to get through life. If this person was my client, I would give him tools to figure out how he wants to deal with this relationship, should he choose to stay in it, and how to communicate with his partner how he feels towards her and how he sees their future, if that's where he's going. And we're going to ask AI, what should a person do if they have been with a person for 9 months and the person is confused? Okay, what should a person do in a relationship? What should a person do in a relationship after they've been with the person for 9 months and their partner is confused? 'Cause we don't want to go ahead and put down that whole thing because the AI, either it's going to get confused or it'll be like, I can't answer this question for you. So let's enter this in and see what it will give us. Okay, it's generating a response. All right, so it's giving us a lot of different points here. Gave us 10 points. Let's read what the first point is. If your partner is feeling confused after being in a relationship for 9 months, it is essential to approach the situation with understanding, empathy, and effective communication. Here are some steps you can take. So you see here, it's already saying on the screen, it's giving you options about effective communication. It's not emotionally talking to you. It's not saying, oh, I understand, I feel your pain. That's not what AI is here for. So the first thing it says, initiate open and honest communication. Sit down with your partner and encourage them to express their feelings and concerns. Create a safe space for them to share without judgment. Ask open-ended questions to understand what is causing their confusion. That right there to me is an excellent point. This guy is very confused about the relationship. I'm going to read now the response that's on here. The person says, did you say 9 months and she's still confused? So basically, nothing you did in those 9 months did anything to change her mind or put you over her ex? That right there, no. That's not a good response. You are now saying that person, you were not good enough in these 9 months to say, I can help you forget about your ex. That's not the whole point of being in a relationship with somebody. People who get involved in relationships, it's not their first relationship, especially if they've been around the block for a couple of times. And I'm not talking about just physically, I'm talking about just relationships in general, having been in different relationships. So to hear somebody say, you mean in all of these 9 months you didn't get her to forget about her ex? That's not the point of him being in a relationship with her. That's not the point. You don't get into a relationship with somebody to help them forget about another person. Why do people get into relationships? Because they're interested in one another. They want to get to know one another. They want to spend time together, laugh together, cook, whatever it is in relationships. You don't want to be in a relationship where you're entering in the picture to help another person forget about somebody else. Do you know what that's called? That's called a rebound. And then when that other person realizes, I'm in this rebound with this person, I really don't want to be with them. Now they're going to leave that person. And then person A is going to have a broken heart. That's not a good answer. Let's go to the second point. The second point is listen actively. Pay close attention to what your partner is saying. Try to understand their perspective, emotions, and any specific issues or doubt they may have. Avoid interrupting or, excuse me, or becoming defensive. Sorry, I'm drinking soda instead of water. I left my water in my bedroom. Here is also another good point. We get involved with people, especially if we've been together for a long time. It's very easy to argue with your partner. It's very easy to be disruptive the minute that they say something that you don't agree with. It's very easy to do that. I know I'm very good for doing that. But a day at a time, I get better in listening effectively and not jumping to conclusions. We all jump to conclusions from day to day to day. We can read something, and depending on the mood that we're in, we're jumping to a conclusion. That post is about us, that comment is about me. It's very easy to internalize things that have nothing to do with us. And in this situation with this person who is dating somebody for 9 months and his partner is confused, yes, it's right to take the time out and listen. What does this person want? Do they need more time? Do they feel pressured because that other person is in love with them and wants to make a life with them? And maybe they just don't feel that way right now. It doesn't mean that they're not going to feel that way maybe a month or 2 months from now. Give it time. That's what working relationships are. You give you and your partner time. All right, let's go on to the next point. And I think after this, we're just going to go to another question. Let's jump down to the last point, respect their decision. Ultimately, if your partner decides that they need to end the relationship, respect their choice. It's important to prioritize both individuals' well-being and happiness. Remember that relationships can be complex and people go through different phases and emotions. Open and empathetic communication is key to navigating uncertainty and finding solutions together. I think this is an excellent point. I will be copying and pasting this and putting it on my marabelleblue.com site so that you'll be able to read all of the points in this page for your reading. A year ago, I lied multiple times and hid things from my boyfriend, and he found out. I've come completely clean. I'm in therapy, and I have completely changed. Yet, my boyfriend still sees me as this terrible, lying person. How can I show him I'm not? Well, this is more than one question. She is not being specific what she lied about multiple times, what things that she hid? Was she dating other people? Was she going out with other guys? Was she going out with other women? There's so many factors we can go within what's going on in this relationship. So I would answer it like this. Now, there are no answers for this person. I guess nobody has a credible answer. I would say there are different steps in order for you to take for your partner to learn how to trust you again. What are those steps? Consistency. That's the number one thing. This is how people find out when when they suspect that their partner is cheating on them. They will see a break. They'll see something their partner doing that they've never done before, and that will bring about suspicion. For this particular person, she needs to be consistent in her behavior, not just a matter of speaking it into existence. That's not the way it works, because we can say all the words that we want, but if our words are not backed up with our actions, what do we have? Nothing. We're not showing anything. We're just talking, and that doesn't resolve a person who feels suspicious about another person who has lied to them. So that's the one thing that's important. You need to be consistent in your behavior, not in what you're saying, but how you're acting. Now, let's see what AI has to say about that. Let's go ahead and go back to sharing the screen. How do I show my partner I am not lying to them anymore? Try and keep this as short, as sweet as possible. It is generating an answer right now. It sure is taking a long time. It's thinking. Here it is. Rebuilding trust in a relationship can be challenging. Whoa, there's like 12 points in here. Let's pick out the best points. Okay, rebuilding trust in a relationship after lying can be challenging, but it is possible with consistent effort, transparency, and genuine remorse. Here are the steps you can take to show your partner that you are not lying to them anymore. Admit your past actions, apologize sincerely, reflect on your behavior, open and honest communication, be transparent, consistency. See, these for me are the two top. Be transparent. Transparency is crucial in rebuilding trust. Share information willingly, especially when it pertains to areas where you have lied before. Be consistent in your actions. If he asks her, well, where were you yesterday? And she goes, yeah, I was just hanging out with some friends. She is not being specific about where she was. Now, she answers the question differently and says, oh, I was hanging out with Sally and we went to Ulta Beauty. I'm just making shit up. We went to Ulta Beauty because she wanted to look for this blush that she couldn't find online, and she figured she'll go to the store, and she asked me to go with her, so I went. Now you are being specific where you were, who you were with, why you were there. That is a level of consistency. If you do it time and time again, not telling the same story, but being honest about where you were. And then here's the other one: consistency. Demonstrate through consistent behavior over time that you are committed to being truthful. Trust is rebuilt through repeated trustworthy action. This is very deep. Let me tell you something. When I first got clean, my father did not believe that I was clean and sober. He knew that I was making meetings. He knew that I was making 90 meetings in 90 days. Every year that went by, I celebrated my anniversary. My mom was always there. We all celebrated my anniversary. He did not go because he just wasn't with it. He was not buying this whole recovery thing. It wasn't until my 5th year anniversary that he attended my 5th year anniversary. And from that point on, he believed that I was clean. It didn't happen overnight. 5 years. 5. That is a long time for someone to actually believe that you are clean and sober. I was clean all of those 5 years, and I'm sure that he saw, but there was something inside of him that affected my using, how it affected him in his mind, that he was just reluctant to say, yeah, I believe you. You've been doing this for a year. I believe you. There are people that it will take a very long time for them to go through their own recovery recovery process because of the trauma that they went through. That's a whole different story. We're talking about like being an addict and being addictive. And maybe one day I'll get into that, but not now. But I just wanted to use that as an example for you to understand that for some people, it takes time. And for my father, it took 5 years. I mean, I've been clean and sober now 32 years. He doesn't have to think twice about it, but it takes a long time for somebody to believe, especially if you're lying, if you've cheated, if you've done certain things in your relationship. It's going to take time for that person to say, okay, I trust and believe you. The power is in the actions, not in what you say, in the action. Let's do one more question now. I found a very interesting question here, and I would say it's not easy to answer. It's very intricate. I will try and answer it to the best of my ability. I say that it's hard because of personal things that I went through. But the question is, if you were mistreated in a relationship, would you make attempts to find a way to get out of that? My own personal experience, yes. I made every attempt and succeeded to get rid of the narcissistic abuser that was in my realm, who everybody knows as shit show. There are no words, there are no kind words I can say about shit show. Nothing. So for me to look at this question, I relate it to my own personal experience of I was caught up with someone who was a narcissist, who was about themselves, who gaslighted me, who spoke to me in ways that would turn around and say, "Oh, I didn't say that," when I know what I heard. It's still very difficult for me to talk about. I've never shared this story out loud with the world, and maybe one day I will. But if anybody feels that they are mistreated in a relationship, this goes beyond the realm of life coaching. This would be something that I would recommend for somebody to see a licensed therapist, a licensed professional. You have to go that route because there are emotions that people need to get through, and the best way to get through it is therapy. And again, that's my own personal opinion. I think it's the better option for somebody who has been either physically, mentally abused. You would have to seek professional help. And that's the route that I would recommend. How AI will answer this, one only knows. So let's go ahead and share the screen again. And I'm going to put down the question as is. If you were mistreated in a relationship, would you make attempts and find a way to get out of it? Final question, everyone. Generating. Wow. And of course, it's going to give us steps. And I'm going to go ahead. I will copy and paste this onto my site. That way you will have this to read. I think it's great information, and I'd like to share it with all of you. So the answer is yes. If someone is mistreated in a relationship, it's generally advisable to find a way to get out of it. Mistreatment can take various forms, including emotional, physical, or psychological abuse, and it is essential to prioritize one's safety, well-being, and mental health. Here are some steps to consider if you are mistreated in a relationship. Recognize the signs, prioritize your safety, seek support, plan your exit, cut off contact, seek professional help, which is exactly what I said. Legal protection if it comes to that route. Self-care, learn from the experience. It closes out with, it's important to remember that no one deserves to be mistreated in a relationship. And there is help and support available to those who find themselves in situations. Your safety and well-being should always be the top priority, and seeking assistance from professionals and support networks can be crucial in finding a way out of a mistreated relationship. I think this is an excellent answer. It's just not saying, hey, get out of it. It's not good for your well-being and mental health. It's actually giving you steps of what you need. And one thing that the AI said, seek support. not support from a computer, not support in texting your friend, real connection, real support that you can connect with other people who have had similar experiences. Go see a licensed professional that can help you through those emotions, those traumatic experiences that you've had in that type of a relationship. You know what? In closing, relationships are challenges. We can look at different TikToks and YouTube shorts and see all of these videos of relationships and people being in love and growing their family and playing pranks. And it looks great. And you think to yourself, why can't I have that? Believe me when I tell you, you are just seeing the surface. You are just seeing the content those couples are putting out there. They're not inviting you into their bedroom. They're not telling you the intimate conversations they're having at night when the children are asleep. We're not privy to that. We're only privy to what they're putting out there, the content they are choosing to share with you. Now, there are people who share a little more, but again, it's only what they are giving you. When you find the person that you want to be with, if you have questions, those questions will be answered. If you're having trouble communicating, you will find new ways to communicate, either through seeing a licensed professional or seeing a life coach to be able to help you communicate your feelings so that you can have a healthy relationship. Because at the end of the day, that's what everybody wants. You don't want somebody that you're going to be arguing with 24/7. That's not a relationship. You don't want somebody who's a stranger who you hang out with every now and then. And in your head, you feel like you're in a relationship with them, but you're really not. You're just friends. If that person is not making an effort, guess what? You're not in any type of relationship. There's nothing potentially going on. When somebody wants to be with you, you will know. Trust me when I tell you, you will know. That is my question to answer as a human. And then, to answer as a human, me, the human, and then putting the question in to get the AI answers. I don't think it was a bad thing. I think that these points were very helpful in some sort of way. But at the end of the day, when something serious is going on, it's not really a matter of typing in a question in AI and thinking you're going to get an answer and everything's going to be fine. You need to connect with other humans, be able to express your feelings so that you're getting real responses back and be able to go forth from there. So I hope you like this video. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and I will be putting out more content. As always, remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.